Crawford Studios.
Yeah.
The opera scene, you know, when they're watching the that weird opera, and this is the scene when he tells Anakin, the Darth Plagueis the Wise. Do you don't remember that scene?
Yes,
They're watching.
yes.
They're watching the
Yeah.
What is
I remember.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just
they're
like
in like an opera theater.
yeah. And there's like if you watch, there's like dancers jumping in
Right.
and out of these like floating globs of water.
Right.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know, you got this weird atmosphere again with that like this, just like it sounds like so weird.
Right.
You got the weird music, the dialogue, and you know the whole scene is a little eerie. So that's the scene when you know you start really learning about Palpatine's manipulations
Mm-hmm.
and how he's you know, he gives him that whole story about Darth Plagueis the Wise,
Right.
just
Yeah.
to
The
tempt
tragedy
him.
of Darth.
Yes,
Right.
the tragedy of Darth Plagueis
Right.
the Wise.
Yes.
He gives him that whole story in order to tell him to save, you know, people's lives. Now that's the other thing. These dreams, he knows that's where like he's had to be planting those dreams in
Had to
Anakin
be.
Yeah.
because
It's again kind of on the nose the way that happens, and then he immediately is in this very personal meeting with him.
Right.
exactly. It's the timing
Right.
is just too perfect.
Right.
And of course, major red flag in everyone's mind is supposed to, if you're, deeply well versed, is supposed to be the part where he says the tragedy of,
Right.
Yes.
That's like a, whoa, what do you mean?
Right.
Exactly, because you know he was the apprentice. That's the other thing too. Is his apprentice killed
Yeah.
him? Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It's
apprentice
a self-report moment for him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Guess what?
Yeah. Sai?
So-
Yeah.
A bit of a Freudian slip from
Yeah.
Sidious there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all fucking good, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole scene, he's just he's manipulating Anakin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you can see the whole thing happening,
Right.
unfolding right there.
They do this cool thing in that scene too. It's very slight, but a lot of those shots slowly go in. Even though it's panning back and forth between the two of them as they're having the conversation and you're seeing the gears turning, every shot that goes back and forth between the two of them, it's slightly going in towards them as though he's like creeping.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think that last part of the movie, well, just those little scenes in the movies are everybody held their breath.
Best for last.
Well, no,
right?
I'm saying like everybody held their breath. Like, oh shit, what's he gonna say next? Shh, don't say nothing. Wait. You know what I mean? And just no, Anakin, don't do it. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? He's playing you. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just just watching it happen.
Darth
It's
Vader.
the most captivating episode. Like
I think so.
act for act within itself.
Yeah.
a lot of shit in that one.
Yeah, and that's what, and again, that's why we were so vested in all of these characters. You know what I mean? Why it is we can watch, like I said before, standalone, show on any one of the characters because they all had something to do with Anakin.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether that they bought him a fucking soda or that he fought next to them, it was that he had that presence with them.
Right.
And like I said, we basically watched him grow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just Anakin, not,
Right.
the actor, but we watched Anakin grow up. It was that he has a crush on Padmé, you know what I mean? And then now he's, they got a secret affair and now he's getting, having these dreams that we're sitting back. It's like, no, just fight the good fight. You're going to be okay. And then, in actuality, we find out that it was,
Exactly.
these nightmares were
Being dropped into his brain.
yeah. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and then, now we we can think anyways. Every time we saw, what's his face sitting in the corner, looking
Right.
out into space, hood on, sitting in the cut, is because he was getting into somebody else's mind, reading minds or, like just reading the room. Like, he was using his
Exactly.
ESP, you know what I mean? To really find out what's going on. That's why he was able to do everything he did, just setting everything up. That motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's how they get
So
to
while
Yeah.
so while all this is going on, you also have Obi-Wan,
Right.
his story arc,
Right.
because they do split up, and it's kind of like the last time. There is a scene when it's like the last time Anakin and Obi-Wan see each
Yes.
other.
Yes.
Right.
Very important Clone Wars scene.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they finally see each other, right? But now you got Obi-Wan. He's on the hunt for Grievous.
Yes.
And he gets on planet. And I do want to mention something that really, it's a pet peeve of mine. Because because they did it right in Revenge of the Sith. The species that the Grand Inquisitor on is in that scene in Revenge of the Sith. He's the one that's like, he's here,
Yes, right.
That's the same species as the Grand Inquisitor, and then they had that guy that looked like fucking Billy Corgan. You know what I mean?
Right. No, you're right.
They could have had him look just like that,
Right.
and just had the the markings. I don't know if they're tattoos or whatever, or he paints his face, but he had those markings, the Grand Inquisitor on his head, and that's all they had to do.
Right.
But no, they had to change it. But anyway, but they get that scene, and again, that's an important scene, and that you can tell, like, you got to understand, and it kind of shows you, like, that's a very scary looking character, but that's just his species.
Right.
He's actually not a bad guy. He's like telling him, like,
he looks intimidating.
Yeah, he looks very scary. You're like, well, this guy's gonna be like
This
You
guy's
think
gonna
he's
suck
gonna
my
be like,
eyeballs out of my
you
head.
think he's gonna be like when he's like, oh no, we're fine here. He's like, oh, he's protecting him. Look, that guy's such a villain. Look at that guy. He's a villain. He's like,
he's a bad guy.
It's like, oh, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why, like, even with Chewbacca, we use Chewbacca as an example. You know what I mean? Everybody looks at Chewbacca like, oh shit, he's scary. And meanwhile, he's like, can I have, cupcake?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, he's one day. Yeah. Shut up, Chewie. You know what I mean? Han Solo talking to him the way he did. Get out of here, you furball. You know what I mean? A lot of these, that's why so many characters. It's just crazy. I think I just bug out with how many characters, strong characters that there are. Species that there were, and nobody saw this shit coming.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's I believe
They're at the beginning.
there's a Wookie Jedi in the Clone Wars too.
Yes,
Right?
there is. Yes, there is.
Yeah, there's
And
a
there's
small.
one
They did
in,
a small arc
Owie.
of younglings where one of the younglings was a Wookiee.
Younglings is a true. Yes.
Yeah, I recalled that.
Yep.
They were getting their crystals for their lightsabers.
Yes, sir. Yes, they were. That's right.
And also in the Acolyte, there's a
right. Yes, there is.
there's a Wookiee.
There is. So again, wouldn't know.
Wookiee,
Finish it.
Jedi, like a full grown Wookiee, not a baby Wookiee.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And-
Wookie
yeah.
Jedi.
Well, again, because the Force is in everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it
It's in
can be
everything.
if you allow yourself to
Yeah.
feel the Force,
Yes.
correct?
Well, no, because if the
Well,
midichlorians.
I know that we can get in debate. We
Yeah.
can get in debate.
I
I'd
would
like
think
to get
it's
into,
being able to get into.
I know,
Yeah.
because they changed that shit because it was and they were talking about midichlorians, and then
Right.
others are saying, well, anybody can channel the Force. The Force
Yes.
is one with me. I'm the one with the Force. The Force is one
Right.
with me. Or
Well,
or if you're
Rogue One?
or if you're a Sith, what is it? I master the Force, or the Force obeys me, or something
Right.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But wait,
Right.
because see now, remember in Finn was raised a homeboy, right?
Mhm.
They thought that he had the Force. He could use it a little bit,
Yeah.
but not Jedi worthy.
He wasn't trained.
Didn't matter. He still couldn't use the
No,
Force
I-
the same way.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant
No.
like he didn't get any kind of skills.
Oh, right, yeah, because his midichlorian count wasn't to what he needed
Got it.
to be to
So
be
they
able
say
to
anybody
use.
could use the Force, but you
Right,
can move
yeah.
like something really
Right, yeah,
small.
like you could turn around and
You
to move that
really
cup
need it
across
then,
the table. Yeah, right. But
Save it.
yeah, like that's why when he was fighting with the lightsaber, you know what I'm saying? He could only do but so much. He couldn't turn around and lift his hand and and stop, whatever, and catch.
I was thinking of that scene we were talking about the other night. The last time we spoke about Star Wars, not the other night, but 2 weeks of nights.
Right.
When Yoda just opens his thing and
But yeah, and
Grabs
catches
the
catches
lightsaber
it.
with the Force. Yeah.
That's it.
Right, exactly. And the way that he was hopping around wasn't because he was athletic. You know what I'm saying? It was the Force he was able to use to toss himself around. You know
Right.
what I mean?
yeah,
The
That's-
midichlorian
he
count
ma-
was
and he
Yeah, hold on.
mastered it.
There's
Right.
in the Battlefront games, which are the
Right.
Star Wars games, whenever you play as Yoda in the most recent one, even though it's third person, so the camera's behind Yoda,
right.
whenever he takes out his lightsaber, from behind you see him move the cloak and then he grabs it with the other hand.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
okay.
That's awesome.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
But
That's a
is
great
actually that's actually a specific lightsaber form. That one, I don't know that one.
Yes, it is
by
the
hand.
one that shows you that I'm super, super Force sensitive.
Yeah, exactly, because it's all Force heavy with acrobatic.
Yes.
See?
It's
Ready?
very acrobatic style.
Yes.
I guess it's supposed to, be harder to hit. I guess that's the whole purpose of it. So
Right.
you're moving quick and it's hard to hit.
I
Or if
also
you're
believe
small,
it's one of the
Basically
only.
a martial art. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I
Well,
believe it's
what was
also
it?
one of the only forms for light side forms that allows throwing.
Okay.
Because they show that not only in the Clone Wars a bunch, but also in the actual movies. When he's fighting those clones, at one point he throws it straight through a clone.
That's right. Yeah.
What's that? The lightsaber?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else.
He like zoom, 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 and he tosses it, and he's like,
yeah.
He like cut through a couple of them. He did his, little
because usually Sith do that kind of shit.
That is supposed to be, that's more of the Sith.
I guess that lightsaber form is probably made to like assist like smaller people. Like they probably invented it for smaller species that are smaller than. Because imagine if anybody could be a Sith. What about those? Because with those, not Sith. If anybody could use the Force, if anybody could be a Jedi,
good or bad,
any species, if they're just could be a Jedi, right? Could you imagine what are those little creatures from the Mandalorian that like repair things?
Yeah,
imagine if one of those, if one of those was a Force wielder.
What are they called, Justin?
Jawas.
Yeah, Jawas.
No, not the Jawas. The ones that they're like mechanics. They're really short and they're like, remember, like
they have the hoods with the eyes.
No, not the hoods. No, not the hoods. They're like little mechanic guys. The ones that like Grogu was trying to eat. Like, no, like me, no.
Oh yeah, like the fact that one of those they could be Force sensitive. That would be insane.
Yeah.
They would need to use the same lightsaber form as Yoda because they're too small to like.
They're
I think
the size of a hand.
Of course, it would have to be in.
So to me, that lightsaber
right?
form is the acrobatic one is probably just designed for little people.
Well,
listen, when you join Little League, right? You got little shoulder pads. you got bigger shoulder pads.
Well, wait, I think so. Like Justin was saying, they're as big as his hand, right?
Yeah.
So now, do all Jedi need to have a lightsaber, or could it be them like they're Jedi and they can use the Force to build?
That is, it's a staple requirement to be, I think, a Jedi Knight, or maybe one step down from Knight. You have to have a lightsaber in order to be.
Okay.
And there is accounts in extended universe stuff and deep lore stuff of certain Jedis having like very specific lightsabers catered to them. In the Clone Wars, that same episode we were just talking about, where the Padawans go to get their crystals, that teacher that they're with, his lightsaber is a cane. It's his walking stick.
That's right. I forgot it.
They make them akin to whatever they need them to be. So, like for those little guys, it might be, two little chopsticks for lightsabers, but
Well, for them, because they're always fixing shit, it could have been the screwdriver or a hammer.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they could have used it.
Yeah. I mean, think about that shit. Hell yeah, run up on them, fucking just shoot that shit. Straight to the head, or
just knock you in the head and knock you out.
Right. Or knock out, take out the Achilles, and you turn around and you're hitting the floor, and
On the opposite end of that spectrum, there is a species in the Jedi Survivor games, the games with Cal Kestis, called the Gendai, and there's only one because they're a very rare species of like half cybernetics that are absolutely massive dudes, and they look super scary. I'm trying to pull one up here.
Oh yeah, on the flip side, you can have a giant species that's
right.
A Jedi. It can be a Jedi or a Force user.
And they're freaking pulling out the shit the size of a tree.
Giants.
Yeah,
why do they have to have it?
Why not? They
imagine what their lightsaber would look like. It would be like a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Here we go.
A hole with a beam coming out of it.
Yeah.
This is Gravis from the Fallen Order series.
Say again.
Yeah, this is one of the villains in Cal Kestis's games. They are like half cybernetic species. That guy's like 9 feet tall and like 500 pounds.
Those are actually in the. I'm not.
I see.
No, I promise there won't be any spoilers. But those are in the.
That's pretty freaking.
Those are actually in the Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Okay. That's really cool.
There's a Gendai there.
Yeah, they're guarding the huts.
And that's really cool. So these guys are like. And this guy fights Cal Kestis, a Jedi. Like a full-blown actual survivor Jedi. And
if I have
goes toe-to-toe.
What type of metal?
Sorry,
again. Do you need?
I'm not giving away too much.
With a lightsaber.
I don't think there's anything that can actually stop the lightsaber.
Yes, there's a metal Mandalorian. That one woman had that staff that was made of the Beskar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a super chrome metal that bounces lightsabers right off of it.
Yeah,
Well, see, I
Beskar is
thought,
like the
but
strongest metal, I think, in the
I thought that it was just
galaxy.
like a deflector kind of shit. I didn't think that it would like actually stop, like like boom.
Yeah, it's the only metal I know that can. I think Durasteel holds up for a shorter amount of time, but it not permanently.
Yes, I believe Beskar, it fully refracts the light of laser guns and lightsabers off of it.
Yeah,
And that's
That's
why
cool.
every time you see Beskar, it's usually super, super like
Right.
chromy.
yeah.
Got it.
You guys are super nerds.
We love it. We love it. Love it. So now you have the scene when Anakin is talking to Palpatine again.
Right.
And he reveals that he's the Sith Lord.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, and it's funny. He's like, I remember in the scene, he says something like, I could strike you down now.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But he could see he's like,
And he starts changing.
Yeah.
but like the way Palpatine is in that scene, he is enjoying every fucking minute. And he looks almost, I hate to say it,
It's evil.
I'm not going to
It's
sound X-ray, but he looks aroused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like-
I think that's
hell
He's
yeah.
like,
that's kind of the point, no?
Yeah, you're
That's
right. That's the kind of the point.
It's like kind of the point, you know? I feel
he
like
played
at
it well.
that point, the room is probably full of it, right?
Yeah.
It's probably all in the air around him. He knows that he's infected him. He could probably see it and smell it on him right then and there. So I think he just already knows what's going to happen at that point.
Yup.
Super manipulation.
and it's interesting too that he still goes and turns him in. Anakin.
Oh yeah.
He
You know,
does.
he
That's
goes,
right.
Yeah.
He goes to Mace Windu, and it's funny too because that's the only time that Mace Windu actually starts like trusting in him too.
Yeah.
He goes, he said, what did he say? He goes, if what you said is true, you have gained my trust.
Right.
He
Yeah.
said it like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Like,
Yup.
And he meant it.
Yeah. And that's the whole shit, bro.
He
And
should have
that's what I'm
backed his
saying.
ass up.
But
Yeah.
they tried. Well, he tried. Nobody
he
else
was
believed him.
there and tried meditating. He was
Yeah.
trying to do it.
He was.
He was trying to do it. And, you know, that scene, now we got to talk about that scene. That, first of all, Lord Sidious, Darth Sidious, that twirl he does. Now, in the books, they describe that as it's supposed to like, you hear him go, "Roar," and he does that like twirl
Right.
with the, supposedly that it's so loud that it actually disorients you. And he uses that and like he takes out Kit Fisto. I forget what the other Jedi
Plo Koon?
is. Which one?
Plo Koon is there.
I thought Plo Koon dies in Order 66 when he's flying the jet.
Yeah, but I believe he's there for the arrest.
Yeah, no, he's just there. He means.
So before.
So he's there.
I'm saying when it
Before he
was
dies.
I thought he,
when everyone goes into the room, you're talking about it's Mace Windu, Kit Fisto. I believe Plo Koon is also there.
I don't. No. It's definitely not Plo Koon because he kills everybody except Mace Windu at that point.
Okay, then no, you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's not
So
there.
he takes but he does it so fast.
Right.
He kills like 3 Jedi in like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all that's left is Mace Windu. And the only reason that Mace Windu can hold up to him is because he Vaapad or Vaapad. I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways. But anyway, he uses Vaapad, which is a lightsaber form that reflects dark side energy back on us, specifically designed to fight Sith.
Right. Right.
It's actually a Sith lightsaber form that they
But you can
somehow
use it
turn
on with anybody,
It's
though.
I forget what the original one is called, but Mace Windu made a light version out of it. I think I don't know if he created it or someone else did. Maybe you do you know, Justin, or
I
Yeah,
can't recall. I know what like you're talking about. I do not remember who it was.
yeah, it's like it was originally like a Sith lightsaber form that
Yes.
the Jedi turned light side,
Mm.
but it actually is designed to like fight Sith, like to reflect it back. That's why he's able to do that in that scene when he's using the lightning
Right, like-
and he's just reflecting
Right. It
back
doesn't
on them.
affect him. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It's also it's the exact same technique that Yoda uses to catch it. Yoda also knows it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
also supposed to be like another sort of like flex scene for Yoda because he's very clearly shows you 1 or 2 art forms that he knows for sure, and then he also has that on top of it.
exactly.
Well,
Yep.
Yoda was catching it by his hand. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
that's
was
what I
just-
mean. Like that's another technique that is definitely not part of his other form that he just happens to know.
because he's been around so
So they
long.
know-
Been
yeah,
around
yeah.
so long, he
Why was
probably
that all-
knows most of that.
More than one art is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like a very common thing that they do for
Makes sense.
Jedi
It's a
that are
master at
older.
something already.
Right.
yeah
For what? Jedi what?
for older Jedi. Anyone that's been a Jedi for a long time, they always like to show you some moment where they very clearly know more than one form. That happens with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's very, very final fight,
Oh, yeah.
where they are standing there looking at each other like they're fencing, and they both just switch forms over and over again in front of each other.
Yep. Yeah. That's
By
so
the
fucking
way,
cool.
did you see someone made that with AI and it looks fucking amazing?
Which
Yeah.
one?
That they redid that scene and it looks like a live action scene.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah.
Even the scene when he's like, will you avenge us or
Yeah.
whatever, with Maul at the end. But anyway, let me get back on track. No, but so you have that scene right now. Now there's the scene that a lot of people I think don't even realize is happening is when Mace Windu is reflecting back the lightning and you start seeing Palpatine's face change.
Right.
Two
Yes.
two things are happening. He is burning,
Right.
but also his Sith glamour is getting undone. Because even if that didn't happen, that scene, he would still have like a slightly not deformed face. He would have like dark around his eyes and the Sith eyes. The melty face, that's from the fucking lightning. But the rest of him, like all that dark eyes, that is. But he uses that to make it look like, so he doesn't have to hide his form anymore. He uses that to like, the Jedi did this to me.
Right.
So,
Yeah, they do have. There's that gets explored in a couple of other series. The use of like Sith glamour effect.
Yes,
I can't remember if it was a High Republic story or an Old Republic story where the glamour was so good that he was able to be fully other people.
He was able to like shapeshift and shit. Wow,
that's crazy.
Or appear as
it was I want to say it was Old Republic because it was just like a story about a single like Sith Knight that got so good at glamoring that he was made like a covert operative.
Well, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, they need to do that. They need to do a fucking Old Republic series. They really do because
that's what I was saying before. It's the biggest missed opportunity so far is that we don't
mystical
have it.
Too. It's so like it's more like on par with like medieval lore.
Yeah, it's very like high fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, in like a Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones sort of fashion.
Right. Even the characters, even the Sith characters, like what's his name? The one that has the he's got
is that Darth Bane?
Yeah, not Darth Bane. I forget what his name is, but he's got like a mask over his face. And then there's another one who had his jaw ripped off.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was
Darth
that?
Malgus, I believe.
Is it Vizsla or no?
Darth Malgus is the one who has the cool mouth thing.
Yeah, the breath. He kind of looks like Vader if he wasn't wearing a helmet and he had just a breathalyzer.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Breathalyzer.
Malgus is he's crazy looking. Hold on.
How much you been drinking?
I think you meant to say breathing apparatus.
There you go.
How much you been drinking, Vader?
I have not had a drink. Yeah, that's fucking great.
I just had one.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's a shot of Darth Malgus for you.
Look at that. That's crazy shit.
Yeah, and he also had this cool. His hilt had not serrated, but sharp-edged blades on it, so that if he got close enough to you, he could just jam them into you.
And wasn't there another one who actually did have his like jaw ripped off?
Yes,
by a lightsaber, and he had, this is why I love it. This is why I love the Old Republic.
Yeah,
they're you know what? They're sitting on a gold mine, and I'm sure
I think
someone's like, well, we're waiting
his
for
master did it,
right?
Right? Was it his master who ripped off his?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Well, see, so it's not a missed opportunity.
It's a weighted opportunity.
This is my personal biggest miss.
I can do it
from here. I'll make it so that it's
do
the
a
right
whole.
thing. Sorry.
I could do a whole.
My biggest miss for the Old Republic stuff: lightsaber spears.
I'm just gonna. You know what? Oh yeah.
Saber spears are like the biggest miss. Like, why does no one else have a saber spear?
Saber spear. You want to see this? You gotta look at this, Kenny. It's half lightsaber, half spear. Spear, lightsaber.
Yeah, they technically call them lightsaber pikes.
Wait a minute, don't they have that in the That's in one of the movies that they have those.
You're thinking of Darth Maul with the double edge, but that's
no. These guys were fighting.
They had a spear on one end, and they had the lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, in Clone Wars, there's the Noble Guard has the same style as Darth Maul.
That?
Yeah.
No, what's his name? Oh my God, Han Solo and Leia's son. Fucking name.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. When he was coming around, and they were
3 minutes.
He had these guys. He had these guys.
His Knights of Ren, they didn't have lightsabers. They had, I think theirs were vibro, right?
I don't know.
Were they vibro weapons?
In my timeline, in my Mandalorian.
Hold on, let me look at the Knights of Ren.
Mandela effect. My Mandela.
What the hell does that mean?
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. So the Knights of Ren, he's the only one that has a lightsaber. All of the other Knights of Ren have very specific, I believe, vibro weapons.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, like I'm saying, they're sitting on a gold mine, and they could do it. They could so do it. They could so do it. And you know what? They could do a whole they could do like 9 movies. They could do like 9 movies.
And now
They could
Well,
do
the
like
way they
3
can do
trilogies
animation
on
and
the Old
everything now.
Republic.
Yeah.
With
Well,
Darth Malgus and all
it's
them.
the
Can
most
you
rich.
imagine?
But now
It would be like kind of like Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings.
yeah, definitely.
No, it is. It really is
But
that.
now- because now we haven't heard
Or no,
anything.
I was gonna say, yeah, it really it would be Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, Star Wars.
Yeah,
like if
for
that
sure.
is what
But-
Old Republic is.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't come up with anything yet, like anything past the Rise of Skywalker, right? They haven't had anything.
No, they won't. They
Right.
probably aren't gonna touch on even further into the future for a
Right.
long time.
Right. So then with that, they can just turn around and, you know what I mean? And go to the Old Republic and
They should.
Yeah, they have so much established beforehand that
Right.
they still need to touch on and like make more media for, that I don't know that we'll see more like sequel type content for a
Right.
while.
yeah, because there's
No,
nothing.
I,
There's
I
nothing.
know they're doing the Starfighter movie,
Yeah.
but like I don't know if I don't know if that's going to take place after the last
I'm not sure that it's been announced or not, or I just can't
The
remember.
Rise of Skywalker. I
Yeah,
don't know
well,
if
for
it's-
whatever reason, right now, bro,
Mhm.
they're holding back all of these. I don't know if it's Disney or Lucasfilms or whoever needs to write these
It's
fucking
mostly
content.
Disney.
But then they need to turn around and like, you know, they need to just start putting these movies out because it's not like they're not making money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Everybody goes to see these things. Everybody's go up watching them on the streaming channels, well, on Disney Plus. So it's like release these fucking things, bro.
Yeah.
Like stop holding them back.
No, you're right.
Well,
You know?
and then the biggest problem with it too is just like that Disney, since acquiring Star Wars, is very wary of their use of it. So when stuff gets mixed reviews, they're very touch and go on if they want to keep doing Star Wars stuff. But
Well,
it's
even
like
if they-
they own the whole title now, so they will continue to do something with it. It's just
Right,
how
but if
much are they
they-
going to invest into it?
But even if they did it into animation, you know what I mean? There's
Mhm.
so many people that do watch the Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That the animations are like, we already know we have to watch those animations.
Yeah.
We know
I-
that those are going to be the fillers and stuff.
I know it's kind of crazy to say, but I actually think that Star Wars is best portrayed in animation. You
I get
can't
you.
truly mimic the abilities of a Jedi or a Sith
In
as
live action.
easily in live action. It just
Right.
doesn't come across the same way. They're supposed to be
Right.
like throwing ships and jumping over buildings,
Right.
basically. It's just
Yeah.
really hard for them to portray that. It takes a very large budget to do Jedi and Sith right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you. And if
Yeah.
they do the animation like the same way they did Bad Batch, bro.
Yeah, I think that they have that style is on lock. They probably
Yeah.
have it like copywritten,
Yeah.
but
Right.
That would be
they
so
should
sick.
continue to use it.
So
Right.
yeah. So next in the scene. So next, I'm steering the ship again.
Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
No,
So
go back.
Order 66 is the next thing that happens, right?
Right.
Right.
Because first he sends in execute Order 66 is the very next thing that happens. So he does that, and then you start seeing the scene where it's the clones just
Literally,
They just-
they
it's
literally
like,
turned around.
bloop.
Yeah.
and
They were walking forward and then just started walking, turned around and just
it's a sad scene, and you see like how they all
Mm.
just get taken out systematically.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, the music in the scene, the whole montage is just like really, really
Mhm.
sad.
Yeah.
I think there's an interesting difference that you see in the movies. In the movies, it is truly like they get the call and they're like,
Mhm.
"Yup, turn around, bam!" Like
Yep.
it's immediate.
Yep.
What I like in the Clone Wars is
Yes.
seeing that it actually it takes a second. I wish
Right.
that was sort of in the movies. I wish they
Yeah.
looked slightly concussed for a moment or
Right.
something,
Yes.
just to make
Yeah.
it very clear what was happening instead of just getting a call and blamming your lieutenant.
Yeah.
That's true. They should have made it look like they were going through
Yeah,
like
like,
some kind
yeah,
of
like
weird
they
thing.
But then at the same time, the way that the story tells it is it was hard programming. So it is kind
Exactly.
of okay if they just turn
Yeah,
around
yeah,
and
that's
shoot
true.
him.
That's
Right.
true. But the Clone Wars, that was so good. Like Rex crying as he's like
Right.
resisting the
Right.
order.
Uh-huh.
Struggling
Ahsoka-
very hard with it too.
Yeah.
Ahsoka escaping. Also, I know I don't want to go off the rails too much, but like that whole scene, they painted all their masks to
Yes.
look like Ahsoka's
Yes.
her markings on her face.
Yeah.
Because they all have different markings for that
Right.
species.
Mhm.
And like they made it look like her markings, and then all of a sudden they just like turned on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And the
Yeah.
thing that makes that one so good, just that whole episode, is that she's stuck on a star cruiser
Right.
Yeah.
in space.
Right.
Yeah.
With an
them.
army of the star cruiser full of clones.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane.
How does she do?
She
I don't remember that.
She got out.
Yeah.
She makes it out. You should. I don't want to spoil it because
Yeah,
you should
no.
absolutely watch that final
Yeah,
season at
yeah.
the very least. But
Yeah.
miraculously, by the grace of God, makes it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. She used the Force, bro.
Who's
You got it?
Force?
Yeah.
Use the Schwartz.
So anyway, so that whole Order 66 happens. It's just
Right.
horrible. And now you have the most famous scene in the entire movie. And I would even argue that that's the scene that adds the most continuity to, or most value to the original trilogy, is the
Okay.
scene now when, he's on Mustafar and, Padmé comes out and she tries talking to him and you can see he's just well far gone. And
Right.
then all of a sudden Obi-Wan comes and that whole scene happens. And,
You betrayed me.
yeah.
It's the first time too.
Empire.
Your empire.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
It's the first time that you truly, like, most of the interactions in both the Clone Wars and the movies between Obi-Wan and Anakin are that of, like, brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the first and really only time where he shows up as his father.
Right.
Like, and he's pissed. He's so the most
You're
mad
right.
he could possibly be at him.
Right.
Yup.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think he should have played that a little bit smarter though. Because
Well,
it made it
absolutely.
look
I think
like
it's part of the reason that the clash happens is that he, for the first time in his life, is approaching Anakin as a father figure, which is
Right.
something he's literally never had. And I think that the volatility of that, like the grifting between them, is what makes them fight.
but like the whole way he came out after Padmé and it looked like Padmé like was in on it. You know what I mean? Like he should just came out to begin with.
Right.
But like fucking he should just jumped ahead of
It wouldn't
Padmé.
have mattered.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
No,
wouldn't have
but he
mattered.
did. It really made it look like she told on him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
I went and got dad.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, he
Yeah,
should have just jumped ahead of her, or as she's landing, he should have just been like, "Hey, I'm here. Stay in here. I got this."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
instead,
Yeah. There was something I
It's
saw.
definitely a choice.
Give it a listen.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
Also,
well,
just to backtrack real quick, when we were talking about Order 66, I would have pissed my pants if I was the clone standing next to Yoda.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That guy got done so dirty, so fast.
so fast.
right.
So
So
we
we
gotta
gotta
bring
talk
that up
about
real
that.
quick.
Scene.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
you
So
get
in
on
tune
your
with the
little
Force,
hollow
he
thing.
felt it.
Hey, you got to kill the Master Yoda.
Yeah.
No problem. This is going to go swimmingly.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But again, there was a few of them that, that they put up that fight. They're like, yo, what the hell is going on? But the Jedi, see, and I think that now
They were
sidebar
naive.
for me in
They
my
got
own
caught-
head.
They got caught.
They're
off
too
guard.
fucking nice, bro.
Yeah.
Caught
They're
off guard.
too nice. It's not that the
Who's
club
too
because
nice?
the Jedi.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, I understand, you have this still that level of peace. You're on the light side and, you don't kill just like that, but bro, like they turned around and they're fucking shooting at your ass. Like, you need to defend yourselves. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of them got killed way too quickly
Right.
Yeah.
for being Master Jedi.
I know that those scenes in the movie are incredibly, incredibly brief.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like you can see that even in those brief scenes that everyone looks super confused.
Right. Yeah, I know. I get it. I hear you. I understand. It's just me, I don't know. I guess
No, it's a
something
tough
like that
watch.
when-
It's a
I
tough
know
watch to
why,
watch
you know.
everyone just kind of get like
I think
gunned
they were
down
gonna get it
fairly
anyway.
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah,
good.
no. I hear you, bro.
I'm
I
gonna
get
beat
you,
your
Justin.
ass
I
right
know what
now.
you're saying. I'm just like, yeah, no, bro. I just feel like they need to be on their toes all the time, or should have been
It should have been.
all the
They
time.
think-
You know what I mean? And I think
And
that's
the
what.
Sith knew exactly how to do it. So,
Also, that scene, huge impact for Clone Wars enjoyers. You watch a bunch of people die there.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Plo Koon is in so many episodes in Clone Wars and is like one of my favorite
Yeah.
Jedis.
now he
And-
gets taken out when he's flying.
yeah,
Right.
he gets gunned down while he's flying. Who also, and again, that's so on the nose because he's part of the fighter pilot special forces guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh man. I love
So-
that. I mean, listen, I enjoyed the movie so much, and is for me, Star Wars, like it's like I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm like, block it, do this, stop that, don't listen to him.
so now,
I stand up in front of my TV, my hands on my fucking head. I'm like, no, that's
So
insane.
So then you have that scene when they fight and everything.
Right.
And a lot of people kind of don't like that fight scene because it looks like they're just like dancing. But the people people don't understand about
No.
that scene is that
Not when I
they
look at it.
can't hit each other. They're missing
Right.
each time, and they're dodging as they're
Mhm.
missing. And that was probably one of the best choreographed lightsaber scenes I've
Mhm.
ever seen.
Yeah.
It's done so well, and the way it ends is just so good. You
Don't
know,
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the higher ground scene. You know,
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
he goes,
Don't
"It's over,
do it."
Anakin. I
Yeah.
got the higher ground.
Yes. Yes.
Don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
try."
Yeah.
You know, he
And
goes,
he did.
"You underestimate my power.
Yeah.
Don't try."
Yeah. It had nothing to do with the power, bro.
Yeah,
Absolute
you underestimate my power.
Yeah. It had nothing to do with the power, bro. It was about the skill right now. You know what I mean? I'm a better swordsman. than you.
And that particular move that he does, that was the move that that Darth
Anakin?
Maul did. That was the move that Darth Maul did to kill Qui-Gon.
Oh,
No.
Wait,
The move
yes.
that Obi-Wan did to kill, not really kill, to slice Darth Maul in half. And
Was
he
it?
studied that move, and he wanted to do the move, and that's why Obi-Wan says to him, "Don't try it." He
Yeah.
knows exactly what he's
Yeah,
going to do,
yeah.
that move, because apparently the lore is that Anakin was like obsessed with that particular, how Obi-Wan had took out Darth Maul. He was so obsessed with that, and he studied it over and over and over. And when he saw, Obi-Wan knew, and maybe through the Force, he just knew that he was going to do that exact move, and he told
That's
him,
crazy.
"Don't try it."
Yeah.
And
did.
he said, "Don't try it. I know what you're going to do." And
Right.
he's like, "I already know how to
Seems
prepare myself for this." Oh, there goes your arms and legs.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that's when his eyes start to
That's
turn
a
to
powerful
yellow.
Yeah, that's right when it happens to him. That's when he I think he takes so much damage that he himself is probably in a way probably almost losing his own glamour.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
didn't think
You're
about
right.
that.
You're right. You're right.
But wait, would it be the glamour yet? Because he still hadn't turned all the way.
So here's the thing:
So
at
would
that
it be
point, right,
rage?
he leaves that temple with Sith eyes,
Yeah. Brought it on himself.
but then
However
the whole
he
time
gets
on
it is what he
Mustafar,
gets
he
it.
looks normal.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
That's
true.
true.
Yeah, so he had already come over.
Right.
He was already on the dark side.
My
Son
brother,
of a-
Anakin,
Yeah, I loved you.
brother.
Yeah.
And
fucking
you know
shit.
what? That scene, though, that's probably one of the most heartbreaking scenes.
is.
I will tell you,
Mhm.
last year, Chase and I went to go see it in the movie theater. People were crying.
Yeah,
the guy
dude.
next to me was crying. I was tearing up.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
lie. I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah.
you, that
Best
scene.
lightsabers fight I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You know, and you get you get the next scene is this, is kind of like the wrap up with the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where Padmé's given birth.
Right.
And they showed
That's
both
right.
scenes happen simultaneously. As Padmé's giving birth, they're showing the scene as Vader coming up.
Right.
First they're showing the machine,
Right,
putting everything
building and
in.
putting
No,
together.
wasn't it when they were showing? No, wasn't when they were saying that she's going into labor. They were showing Vader being picked up and taken into the ship.
Oh, was that?
Yeah,
Well, what was the scene when he was coming up then?
that was after the
that's
kid.
the very
that's when-
very end.
But that's
Yeah,
the very
that's- yeah,
okay. So
right, right.
so he was getting picked up at the same time. As she
Yeah,
was
so
having-
yeah, she started saying she's going into labor. That the robot
Yeah.
said she's going into labor. Then that's when they're picking up Vader. He's going in.
Now
When they're starting to work on him, go ahead,
we need to talk about what you sent me.
go ahead.
What we talked. So there's a theory that someone plaused that is a really good theory. You sent it to me, and that is, now remember how they're like, we're just losing her. Like
Yes.
it looks like she's lost the will to live.
Yep,
So there's a theory that was actually Darth Sidious
that was
killing her, like force. Because don't forget, fucking Darth Vader was able to force choke people who weren't even in the
Exactly.
same room as him.
Yep.
But he didn't
Remember?
realize that babies were born.
So-
No, that's the
But
whole
maybe
thing.
he just
It
needed
made
to know kill Padme. He may
Right.
not know about the babies.
Yeah.
But he just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He just knew to use the Force to kill her because
Right.
he could feel her
Yeah.
specifically.
right, because nobody knew that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So that then
That's right. That's
so
right.
taking the kids and hiding the
So
kids,
maybe
it
he
wouldn't
couldn't
have
feel,
mattered
maybe
to
he
him.
couldn't feel
Yeah.
the kids. He could only feel her because he was trying.
There's-
Right.
There's even an argument that maybe he would not normally be that strong, like strong enough to do that from a different planet. But at this point in time, the dark side is coursing through the universe.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
Because Order 66
Right.
and all that, and the Empire just
But the kids, but Luke and Leia, they weren't born on a planet.
No, but what Justin's saying is that the reason why Palpatine has so much that he could probably kill her through the Force
Mhm.
is because
Oh.
there's so much dark side energy running through
yeah,
the
he
galaxy.
wasn't in the same place as them. Where
Right.
either, yeah, no, he
Right,
wasn't there at
yeah.
all.
Yeah, 'cause I was
Right.
gonna say because
That's
they
pretty
were,
powerful
'cause
shit.
They were in light speed, like
Yeah.
trying to get to whatever, you know.
So that is a theory.
Yeah,
There's
I
all,
love
back
it. That was a
to
good-
just back
Besides
to the moment in which he tells him not to try it is a really fun one for me, because there's a lot of like martial arts analysis for the Clone Wars and obviously the trilogy episodes. Obi-Wan does a lot of historic European martial arts type fencing, which is a lot of telling your opponent ahead of time and knowing what they're going to do ahead of time. And I think that that's a very interesting thing that is embedded in his character. The same way that like Count Dooku is embedded in traditional fencing with that special lightsaber that's hilted, it's turned like a fencing sword. And also you see it in the way that he fights. He starts every single fight like a fencer does with the
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. So you just said that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, I mean, because of their. So now here's the other thing. When they show the, like when Qui-Gon was fighting, and when they would all use their swords or whatever, they just how the whole Jedi looked.
Yeah.
They all had super skills. You know what I mean? Like they really, like they were like samurai.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean Space Samurai.
Yeah.
that is pretty much the annotated version, right?
Yeah. And then you see how they lost it. You know what I mean? As the episodes went on,
Yeah.
that they weren't fighting the same way after Order 66. I mean, I get it. I understand. There's nobody there to train or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
should have been ready for it. But they weren't.
Well,
So.
I'm just saying, like, because there was no more masters and Padawans, you know what I mean? That you just
and then
see how they lost it.
The other thing is, no one was ready for it. But there is, if you go and find it in the extended universe stuff, there is several stories of people who were at least able to make it out.
Right.
Like Cal Kestis' exception was he was a Padawan when it happened, and they were on a Star Cruiser like Ahsoka was, except his master sacrificed his own life getting Cal Kestis off that ship.
Right.
And that's the only reason that he got to live. He was he happened to be one of the few Padawans at the time that was actually going out with the Jedi Knights to fight in the Galactic War.
So crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So fucking crazy.
That's why I say him and Ahsoka, very similar sort of stories where they're like Padawans that were Padawans at the worst time possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a very missed opportunity not having Cal Kestis be in anything yet.
Yeah, right.
They
yeah.
really need to start doing stuff with some of these characters.
Yeah, because it could be shorts. The same way they do in Visions, the same way they did Legends. You know what I mean?
Right, or like bring it back as animation style.
Right, yeah.
I'll take seeing Ahsoka and Cal Kestis in animation version if we can't get
a live action.
The two actors to be in the same place at the same time.
Right, yeah. I would too. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you all day.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
I would love that.
So the last scene is, like we mentioned, the very end when he's coming up, and they kind of do when him coming up like Frankenstein.
Oh,
they really did. They did kind of go with the Frankenstein vibes.
They did.
Definitely did that on purpose. You
did.
knew they pulled that shit.
Right.
And the way Palpatine just smiles, like
he's
like, in your anger, it seems.
Yeah. Put the hoodie.
In your anger, it seems you killed her.
Yeah.
It fucking breaks everything.
Crushing shit, ripping the fucking table apart that he's on.
Man.
Bro, listen.
Super Frankenstein moment, yeah.
Yeah, big time.
They even do like the sparks and everything when he crushes everything.
They did.
Yeah.
Everything's like getting crushed.
So
they were very
He literally does the same, like reaching to the sky at nothing and sparks everywhere.
Because then he couldn't feel her anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't think at that moment she had passed. I don't think she was dead yet.
I think she was dying.
You know what I mean? Right, she was dying and he couldn't feel her.
Yeah.
So then it was easy, to tell him, yo, she's dead, bro.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. You know what I mean? And that's what, that shit was so insane. So
but he
crazy.
tried to kill her though.
Well, but he did it having a moment.
Oh,
because no, I'm not justifying it.
It's not like we're talking about an abuser. He's just he gets angry sometimes.
He just takes people out.
Fuck.
I had to pull back. I was going to do a joke, but it was it wasn't him because he thought that he was going to be able to protect her and keep her. So then when for him it felt like she wasn't listening to him. And that was also a pet peeve of his.
He felt betrayed.
Well, because he felt that people weren't listening to him and they didn't let him have a voice. So if you don't let me speak, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you. You're not hearing me in any way, shape, or form. And here it is. I trusted you as the love of my life, and you bring him. You know what I mean? And that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Like, a lot of the choices that he makes are seemingly very human for the moment he makes them in.
Right.
right. And
Big
because
time.
he has that kind of power.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, so that's our discussion of Clone Wars. I'd like to get into a real quick end discussion. I think the movie has aged well. People appreciate the prequels more now than I think they did when they were out. They weren't perceived well. We did talk about that.
I agree.
Meme helped bring it back a little bit. There's
Yep.
so many memes. Do it.
Right. Yeah.
Or hello there.
Yeah. A lot of those.
The Clone Wars definitely elevated them.
Right.
Massively,
Right.
Yeah.
massive, and the whole Hayden Christensen redemption arc.
Yeah.
He's
now.
beloved now. People love him.
Yeah.
It
worked out good for
so much when it was happening. So
Yeah.
That happens to a lot of people who are famous. Not to change the subject, but they don't come out so lucky.
Right.
Like, he weathered the storm, and then it came out at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's more common than it should be.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking insane. Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. I love this shit.
Just
Star
the
Wars.
final one thing to say is that this isn't just the end of the prequels; it's the emotional center of the entire Star Wars saga.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So,
That tearjerker. This is like, what's next? What's gonna be? Oh my God. How's it gonna,
Well, then later, the babies get separated, right?
Yeah.
They go to a different,
yeah.
It does a lot of what the movie has to do in
Right.
that last 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Fucking love this shit.
So-
Yeah.
So this was an awesome episode. This is the longest episode
Yeah.
we have ever done.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
up to? What's
It's gonna be a two-parter.
we're almost
Almost
2
at
hours.
2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost 2 hours.
This is a record breaker
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. Thanks,
Definitely.
Justin, for being here.
So
with us,
this
though.
We appreciate
episode,
it. We apologize. for
You're
the,
welcome, and also I'm sorry for it
this
being
will
2 hours.
be 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So we will be breaking this up. Well, if you're listening now, you're hearing the second part of the episode.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We'll put this in the middle somewhere. Yeah, for shizzle my nizzle. So with that, thank you everybody for listening, watching, follow, subscribe, all that other good shit.
Go wherever you
Appreciate
find
you.
your podcast.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're on the YouTube, all that good stuff. So love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And use the dark side.